Hello everyone, my name is Kirill. You are on the AutoAdviser channel. Do you know about the theory that humanity has gone the wrong way in its development and then the internal combustion engine is a dead end? Don't agree? Well, this theory has its own arguments. Let's look at them. Let's look at the very essence of the internal combustion engine, the very original idea. This initial idea is a crank mechanism. Here I have it in my hands now. Based on the name, it consists of a yellow crank and a black connecting rod. Also for clarity, I have a wheel here. The crank mechanism is designed to convert reciprocating motion into rotational. That is, now my right hand is reciprocating, which is converted into rotation of the wheel. In fact, in an internal combustion engine, a piston is installed at the end of the connecting rod. Let's mark it white here. This piston performs translational motion due to the energy of gases that are formed during the combustion of the fuel-air mixture in the combustion chamber of the engine. It may seem that the crank mechanism is an ideal device, but in reality it is not. Because of its kinematics and also due to the fact that the engine piston moves unevenly with such impulses, the rotation of the wheel is uneven, and this creates a number of big problems. During the operation of the crank mechanism, the so-called inertia forces arise and it's necessary to somehow fight them. The force of inertia, for example, is when you are driving forward, then you suddenly want to go in the opposite direction, but this force of inertia interferes with you. The piston moves forward and then back. And in this moment, when it tries to move back, we could say that inertia forces kinda prevent it from doing so. Inertia forces can be divided into first and second order. The first-order inertia forces are balanced using counterweights on opposite sides of the cone rod journals of the crankshaft. The second-order inertia forces are balanced using special balancing shafts. Also, to reduce the uneven rotation of the internal combustion engine, a flywheel is installed on its crankshaft. Let's imagine that it is this black wheel. By the way, we also have a video about the flywheel on our channel. The link will be in the description. The second problem for the crank mechanism and for the internal combustion engine in general is the presence of extra cycles. This applies especially to a four-stroke engine. Of the 4 cycles, we have only one cycle that does useful work. The stroke that does useful work, that is, pushes our piston, is called the working stroke. In addition to this, there are 3 more additionals. The first stroke is the start stroke, when the air-fuel mixture is sucked in. Then there is the compression stroke, and at the end there is an exhaust stroke, which releases our exhaust gases. Also, to ensure the performance of the engine, it is necessary that there be a gas distribution mechanism. The presence of extra cycles negatively affects the efficiency of the engine. Engine efficiency is equal to the ratio of useful work to the work done. That is, with regard to this example, we have 1 cycle of useful work, and all work is 4 cycles. So if only 1 cycle does the work, and the other 3, as it were, are idling. The third global problem of the crank mechanism and the internal combustion engine as a whole is the need for its constant lubrication, since our piston does not have any bearings and simply rubs against the walls of the engine. It needs constant lubrication. As you know, many other parts also work with friction, so in general, an engine needs oil, and the oil must be changed regularly because it operates at high temperatures under high loads and loses its properties over time. During the combustion of the air-fuel mixture, a lot of energy is spent on heating the engine itself. So we constantly need to use the engine cooling system so that the engine does not overheat. Simply put, part of the engine's energy is spent on heating the outside. That is wasted. But rest assured, this will not affect global warming in any way. Also, regarding the environment and global warming problem, don't forget about the exhaust gases. So, exhaust gases are the fifth problem. If you take into account all these five problems, it turns out that the internal combustion engine is not that great. So why do we use it? An interesting fact. More than 100 years ago, in the early days of the automobile industry, there were more cars on the road with an electric motor than with an internal combustion engine. But because of problems with batteries and also because petroleum products became vastly available, the electric motor did not receive further distribution. Although an electric motor is much better in performance than an internal combustion engine. We also have a video on this topic, the link will be in the description. And do you know another type of engine that tried to replace the internal combustion engine in the middle of the 20th century? This engine was installed not only on cars, but also on diesel locomotives and even on tanks, and it is called a gas turbine engine. In simple words, a gas turbine is the same turbine as an airplane, only it does not create jet thrust, it is much smaller and creates torque. By the way, a combustion turbine, unlike an internal combustion engine, does not have any crank mechanisms. It immediately performs a rotational movement, so it has no friction forces, no energy losses. Therefore, the efficiency of the turbine is higher than that of an internal combustion engine. For this reason, many automakers have tried to establish the production of cars with a gas turbine engine. But now my favorite topic is about the tank. Let's watch a video about the T-80 tank, which runs on a gas turbine engine and makes a specific aircraft sound.
Вот так они на Марсе рассекают, видишь? Какой смотровой прибор.
So, why is there no broad usage of a gas turbine in cars? Because there are no ideal technical devices, each of them has its own compromises, and the gas turbine engine also has its drawbacks. The first drawback is the high rotational speed of the gas turbine engine itself. It can reach 100,000 revolutions per minute. The second problem is the high temperature of the exhaust gases of the turbine itself. It can reach a temperature of 200 to 300 degrees Celsius. Imagine if you stopped at a traffic light and some pedestrian passes behind you. You press the gas, and this pedestrian is completely burned. That is, a complex cooling system for these exhaust gases is required. And the third subjective factor is the sound that the gas turbine engine makes. The sound is more like the sound of a jet aircraft. So, when you press the gas pedal, you would hear an unfamiliar and loud sound. The internal combustion engine, of course, is not the most ideal device, but it was in the right place and at the right time. But the world does not stand still. Technology is constantly evolving, and in the near future, I am sure that we will drive hybrids and electric cars. But for now, most factories produce internal combustion engines. So if you need any spare parts, go to our website AutoAdviser.by. The link will be in the description. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And also press the bell to be notified of new videos. This was the AutoAdviser channel. All the best to you. See you soon.